Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today is Friday, December 19th. We're going to get into the stats, Conejo Valley, SIMI Valley, and Moorpark. All right, let's take a look. Here we go. So, coming soon, we have three new listings, 22. Price change, 35. Back on market, 3. Active under contract, 30. Pending, 28. Closed, the real number is 35. Expired, 13. Canceled, 19. Hold, 7. And withdrawn, 4. All right, so we'd like to compare what is coming on the market versus what has gone off the market. That's how we can tell whether we're in a buyer's market, a seller's market, if the inventory is increasing, if the inventory is decreasing, so on and so forth. All right, so the numbers that designate properties that are coming on the market, excuse me, guys, are the coming soons. We have three. Excuse me, gosh. New listings at 22. That equals 25. And then the back on the markets with three, that is a total of 28. So we have 28 properties that have just come on the market. All right. And three of those are properties that were in escrow, fell out of escrow, and now are back on the market. All right. And then we need to compare those with the properties that have just come off the market. That would be the active under contract. Remember that active under contract, these are sellers that have a buyer that they've just accepted an offer from. That buyer is now in their investigation phase of that escrow. All right. So the active under contracts are at 30. The expireds, these are properties, obviously, their contract with their listing agent has expired. That property is no longer on the market. Those are at 13. We have 19 cancellations, okay, as we near the holidays. These are sellers that are just not getting it done. They're probably their price wasn't realistic. And then we have seven that have gone on hold, which means they can't be shown. So technically they're off the market. And then withdrawn four, which is the status that you go on right before you cancel. And so that total, folks, is 73. So we have 28 properties that have come on the market, 73 properties that have gone off the market. That is darn near triple. Okay, triple the amount of properties coming off the market. So as I've been saying for the last 6, 7 weeks now, inventory is dramatically shrinking. All right, inventory is dramatically shrinking. And let's take a look at interest rates. Interest rates, they're healthy because they're stable. So at 6.22 for a 30-year fix, that's not a bad rate, especially if you know the forecast is that rates are going to come down. So you might as well get the deal now before inventory shrinks even more and then refinance later. The 15-year fix is at 5.74. The 30-year jumbo's at 6.4. The 7 and 6 SOFR ARM is at 5.8. The 30-year FHA is at 5.86. And the 30-year VA is at 5.87. So, um, what I'm gathering from all these stats, folks, is that we are seeing inventory every week. It's shrinking, it's shrinking, it's shrinking. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't increase because what we saw in February was in the matter of 4 weeks, inventory exploded and was 3 times the size it was since the beginning of February. So things can happen very rapidly in this market. But if you're a buyer in the market right now, the serious sellers are still out there. Those are the ones that are willing to make the deal. They're probably priced the best right now. Sellers, the serious buyers are out right now. It's holiday time. They love that Christmas present, that New Year's escrow. So, sellers, be on the lookout for that serious buyer that comes in. Even though what I'm noticing is when the initial offer comes in, most initial offers right now are lower than 97% of the original asking price, which is okay. It's just the way the market goes. You guys just have to negotiate, and as long as you're realistic, you'll get back to that spot, sellers and buyers, where you think you might have a fair deal. And as long as everybody leaves the table unhappy, then you know you've got a fair deal, folks. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Josh Brenner with Compass right here in Westlake Village. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I would love to hear your thoughts and plans for real estate in 2026. We are almost there, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. And don't forget to get some exercise today, everybody. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.